OpenAI really got people talking with this whole Canvas thing, huh? Like, it's huge GE, we got to dive into it.
For sure, for sure.
We're talking about having a total power-up for any project, blogs, coding, you name it. That's what Canvas is saying, at least.
All right.
We're going to break it all down. How does it actually make ChatGPT, like, way better?
It's a big claim, definitely. But the truly interesting part is how OpenAI is changing the entire game of how AI works with us, not just for us. It's a whole different way to work with AI now.
And they say that right away in the blog, right?
Yeah.
Like, they get it. People love ChatGPT.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But then there's that BHE.
Yeah, and that's where it gets really interesting. ChatGPT, as good as it is, it's still just you ask, it answers. Like trying to have a conversation by yelling down a really long hallway, you know? Canvas is like they just blew the walls out and said, come on in, let's actually work together.
Less shouting into the void, more like brainstorming buddies.
I like it. But what's that actually look like in practice? They keep saying spatial. It sounds fancy, but kind of vague.
Think of it this way. ChatGPT, you're stuck with this never-ending line of text. Okay, for quick questions, but try editing code like that. Nightmare. Canvas ditches that whole linear thing. It's more visual, more flexible, like a whiteboard. You move ideas around, text, code snippets, and the AI is right there with you, making it work. That's what spatial means here.
So less back and forth chat, more like a Google Doc, but we're both building the thing LV.
Exactly. That's when those features they're hyping up start making sense. For writers, there's suggest edits. Okay, sounds a bit like your basic grammar checker. Yeah, we've all been there battling the red squiggly lines of doom. So what's different here?
It's the difference between like a grammar cop bot and an actual editor who gets what you're trying to say. Canvas, with GPT-4o, it doesn't just see sentences. It gets the whole piece, how your ideas connect, your tone, even your little writing quirks.
Okay, so less about catching typos, more about an AI that's like, yeah, I get your style. Impressive.
Oh, but there's more. Like adjusting how long your thing is, making it casual or formal. They even trained it to use emojis properly. They want Canvas to be the writing helper, from the simple stuff to the really subtle stuff. Pretty amazing, right? It's like they taught GPT-4o to be a writer, not just know words.
Writers are going to lose it. But what about us code monkeys? Blog post says review code. Dude, if that really works. Every programmer's dream.
Like having someone double-checking your work, but without them actually, looking over your shoulder all the time. But it gets cooler. Canvas isn't just about finding mistakes. They talk about ad logs. That's like debugging 101 and even translating between different coding languages, stuff that takes forever. And Canvas is like, I got this.
So it's like they said, what do coders hate doing? Okay, AI, do that.
Exactly. And the big thing here is they're saying it's transparent. A lot of AI stuff, it's like a magic box, right? You put data in, get an answer out. Who knows how? Canvas is different. It'll show you why it's making suggestions so you get the logic. That's huge for trusting it, especially with code.
So no more blindly trusting the algorithm. You get to be like, okay, I see what you did there. I feel better already. But let's get techie for a sec. They mentioned GPT-4o, but like, what's different? How do you even train an AI to collaborate?
It's not just like more data or tweaking stuff. We're talking changing how AI is taught. Instead of feeding GPT-4 tons of text and code, they had to teach it to work with us, not just for us. So they trained it on stuff specifically designed to be like working together, when to suggest, when to edit directly, when to back off and let the human lead.
So they basically made a fake office inside the training data. That's wild. Where do you even get that kind of data?
Here's where it gets meta. They use their own AIs to help make some of the training data for Canvas. It's like AI teaching AI how to be a better teammate. Crazy, right?
My brain just did a backflip. Little intimidating, not going to lie. Like we're seeing a whole new kind of intelligence being born here. But okay, enough tech talk. Let's talk about the giant AI in the room, right?
Oh, yeah, you're going to go there. This whole thing, AI is your buddy, your partner. Exciting, but kind of freaky too, yeah.
Exactly. It makes you think, how's it going to change work? Creativity. Are we going to become too reliant on these things?
Those are the big questions, and honestly, we don't know all the answers yet. But what we can do is talk about what might happen, good and bad, and everything in between.
So we've got this crazy, powerful AI trained on like all the data, ready to be our new bestie. But let's be real for a sec. Someone listening to this is probably thinking, okay, cool story, but what about me?
Right. That's the big question. And honestly, I think the answer is going to be different for everyone. OpenAI seems to think Canvas is going to be as big as, like, the internet. It's a total game changer.
Whoa, okay, the internet's a high bar.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. Dial up to smartphones, felt like overnight. So if Canvas really blows up, what's that even look like? You get your futurologist hat with you?
Picture this writer's block. Gone. Need help getting your thoughts straight. Canvas. Gotta change your tone for a different audience. Boom. Canvas.
So like a 24/7 editor on speed dial. Sign me up.
What?
But what about those of us who aren't wordsmiths? Like, how does Canvas help the non-coding mortals among us?
That's what's really cool. Say you've got a killer app idea, you get it right, but the actual coding, no way. With Canvas, you could explain it in plain English, and it helps turn that into real code.
Whoa, hold on. So it's not even just making things easier. It's making it so anyone can build stuff, even if they don't know the first thing about code.
Yeah.
That's nuts. But then, if AI is doing all the work, what are we even doing anymore?
That's what we got to figure out right now. See, as these tools get better, it's not about replacing us, it's about us doing more. We get to focus on the big ideas, the stories, the problems that need solving, and the AI handles the boring stuff.
So less like humans versus machines, more like humans with machines, teaming up to do cool stuff.
Exactly. We got to use these tools smart, be aware of the downsides, and make sure we're using them, for good.
Word. Well, we covered a lot today. Technical stuff, big picture stuff, the whole works. OpenAI's Canvas is more than just a new feature. It's a peek into the future. And yeah, it's going to be wild. Exciting, a little scary, but definitely wild. So to everyone listening, stay tuned, keep those minds open, and as always, happy diving.